If you guys want to learn how to get brands to sponsor you, a lot of it is in how professional you are with your videos. One of the most important things is creating this sort of cinematic effect. If you look at Jeffree Star, if you look at Nikkietutorials, they have lights coming in from the back. Hey guys, my name is Sahi. Welcome back to my channel. As you guys know, I just started this channel, but for the last 4.5 years, I have owned a cosmetic company. That means for the last 4.5 years, I have worked with the top influencers on YouTube and Instagram, and I have learned their trade secrets to looking professional in their videos for YouTube and Instagram, and I'm gonna share with you all their secrets today. So stay tuned if you wanna learn how to look like a professional YouTuber. Alright guys, as you guys know, I have worked with quite a few influencers, and one of the biggest things that no one wants to tell you is how to look like a professional influencer without having to spend too much money. Everybody starts off someplace, whether it be Jeffree Star, Desi Perkins, even the Kardashians. They all have very similar lighting effects within their videos, but they don't really talk about how they get it. So I'm pulling back the curtains and I'm gonna show you guys exactly how to look like a professional YouTuber that brands would wanna work with. Alright guys, so this is my actual setup inside of my formal dining room at my house. Not even my house, at my parents' house. So I want to show you guys how it looks in real life. As you can see, I have a credenza behind me, and right next to it I have a bunch of junk we use for the kitchen. My room is actually right next to the kitchen. Now if you can, I suggest you get a room that is far away from everybody else and far away from high foot traffic areas of your house, because everybody goes to our kitchen and it is hard for me to record videos. But I am absolutely in love with the color of this room. I like the colors of the furniture behind me, and I'm just able to pack everything that I need onto my dining table, and so that's why I am here. So I'm gonna tell you guys how everything's set up. So right in front of me, I have all of my makeup laid out here, and I have my brushes in front and a mirror right here. Right in front of me is my camera on a stand on the table, and then I have the ring light here too. I could hook my camera up onto the stand with a ring light, but I don't want it to be flimsy. I don't want it to accidentally be off center, tilted, or anything like that. So I always have it separate because I'm very paranoid about like shooting an hour worth of footage and then it all just like gets bad.
We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
Alright guys, if you don't want to invest money in a ring light, because I know that the Diva ring light, I have the original, they are quite expensive. You can find dupes on Amazon, and I think that the dupes would do just fine as well. But this is so budget friendly, guys. You could literally take anything that you have at home. This is like a lid. You could use a pan that's round, like a pizza pan or a pie pan, and get LED lights from Amazon. They're just like a strip of LED light. You can wrap it around and then put a white sheet on top. And then just hang it. Take this hook, hook it onto whatever you can. Put a nail in the wall, tape it to a chair or something. You can do whatever you want. But basically, this is a really great source to reflect light. The first thing you can see when you're looking at my video right now is that I'm completely in focus, and the stuff behind me is blurred out. That's called bokeh. And I'm getting that because I'm shooting my camera in manual. And I'll teach you guys exactly what camera settings are good, and I'll actually write it down for you guys too so you can keep learning. Now, the other thing I want to point out that Nikkietutorials does, that Jeffree Star does, that Desi Perkins does, even the Kardashians with Keeping Up with the Kardashian interviews that they have on TV, they do the exact same thing where they light themselves from above. And that creates this beautiful angelic effect on your shoulders. Your shoulders look shiny, your hair looks shiny, and that's because I have a big light right above me. The other thing I want to point out, when you're looking at the room you want to create into a beauty studio, consider where your light sources are. So for me, I have two very big windows to the right of me, and then I have to balance that out with a softbox on the other side. So even though I have this beautiful window here, I wouldn't be able to sit right in front of it because then I wouldn't have my really nice credenza behind me. And I wouldn't be able to use my very long dining room table here the way that I have used it. Now, since I'm getting warm light from either side of me, in front of me, as you can tell from my glasses, I have a ring light, and that ring light is on cool. So all the bulbs are sending a cool tone light to my face. And that kind of neutralizes whatever warmth I'm getting from the side. So now I look true to color. Right, and that leads me to my next point. I actually have a chandelier right above me too. And the chandelier is off because it would create unnecessary dimension to my face. From the top, you'd be able to see my eyelashes, the shadows, my nose would create a shadow on my face. You'd be able to see my under eyes a lot more. So I'm avoiding whatever light is coming from up top in front. So I guess the number one thing that I'm trying to tell you guys is lighting, lighting, lighting. Get yourself in a position where you're able to control how the light comes to you. The other thing would be is to just to think about how you want to brand yourself. What is your brand? What do you want to stand for? For me, I want to be very much on par with my cosmetic company, Sahi Cosmetics. Everything is rose gold, luxurious. It's one of the many things that I love about having this cosmetic company is just like the feeling that customers get when they touch our product, and you know, it gives them a feeling that they're worth it. You know, it's a luxury item that they get to have. This dog has to bark in every single video that I do. As you can tell, this is the camera that I film on. It's an EOS Rebel T6i from Canon. I have an 18 to 55 millimeter macro lens on it. It's good enough for me to film in HD, but I can't film in Ultra HD unless if I up-res the video. I film on my iPhone quite often because my iPhone shoots 4K, and so sometimes you'll see like my vlog videos that's all shot on my 4K iPhone. So as you can tell, I have all of my makeup and stuff right in front of me. I have a towel right in front of me. One of the things that I was gonna suggest to you guys is putting a bounce board below. So anything that reflects light from the bottom. Usually when I film, I move this towel up, and then the white table itself will bounce any light back up to my face. A lot of people use tin foil. They just put like a layer of aluminum on like a shoebox lid and they tilt it up until it gives them a bright look on their face. But as you can tell, like, this is a very messy living room, and all you guys see is this much. That's all you see on the camera is just whatever is really pretty, and then you don't see the fact that I have like a cajillion Instant Pots and tissues and chips and stuff. All right, so how do I see how I look like from shooting manual? Because it's so hard to see from this small little screen whether or not you're focused or not. Well, I've got actually a wire here plugged into my MacBook Pro, and on my MacBook Pro I have a software called EOS Utility. So I just plug it in and a pop-up comes up and I hit like shoot live. So this is remote live view window. And there, I can see myself shooting. So if I'm out of focus, when I'm sitting down here, I'll be able to see, and I'll just quickly reach over to the lens and fix it up. But what I've done is I've just kept everything here as is, and now I don't need to adjust anything. It's just set up for me. I don't touch it, I don't move anything. Just this laptop right here, I can move over to my workspace over there and work on stuff later. And then this side is my editing side. So I'll edit all of my videos on this computer that we just actually assembled. ourselves. So this is the side that I usually edit on, this half of the table, and then the other half of the table is where I actually record. All right, so next I want to talk to you guys about what camera settings you guys can use to get this really cool effect that you see in the back of my videos. And this is one of the things you can even use with a backdrop behind you. A really nice thing if you want to do budget friendly is just have a sheet behind you, a fabric, and then you can take a single light from the bottom and point it up to the sheet. And that'll give you a really, really nice effect. Jeffree Star does that in his videos. He doesn't have a background. But I think you should still use the same camera settings that I'm about to tell you guys right now. So the first thing I want to teach you guys is about ISO, which is the sensitivity to light. So one of the things I suggest you guys do is keep your ISO as low as possible, because the higher your ISO is, the more grainy your footage gets. And we all want to look HD, right? We want to look 4K level quality. If your ISO is too high because you're trying to bring light to your face, it's going to look grainy and the quality of video is not going to be there. If you are outside with a lot of sun, you would normally keep your ISO at 100. If you are in the shade outside, you would keep your ISO at 200. So that's why when you're indoors, you want to keep your ISO around 400 to 800. The next thing you guys gotta learn is aperture. Aperture is the size of the opening of your lens. You can actually look at your lens and move it, and you can actually see the hole open and close when you're moving your lens. This is probably one of the confuser ones, because the smaller the number, the bigger the hole, which means more light's coming in. And this number is written in f-stops. Mainly, aperture is how I get the stuff in the back to be blurry and I'm in focus. It's called depth of field. So basically, when you have a smaller depth of field and the f-stop number is smaller, that means the stuff in the back is gonna be more bokeh. So that's how you're gonna get that portrait mode feel in video format. So I suggest keeping your f-stop at like 1.4. So the last thing I want to talk to you guys is about frames per second. That's how many frames you're taking for your video. Your video is essentially just a bunch of pictures put together. So for most beauty videos, you can do 30 frames per second, 23 to 30 frames per second. That is the norm for iPhones. That's the norm for Canon cameras. When my intro plays, you'll see I do a really slow-mo video of me putting blush on. That was shot at 60 frames per second, and I was able to slow it down without it looking too choppy because I had all of those frames, all of those pictures within that 1 second. So I was able to show you guys like all of that movement slowly, slowly, slowly. All right guys, thank you so much for watching. And I hope you guys subscribe. Please hit the like button and please subscribe. It would mean the world to us. Leave a comment below if you have a beauty channel here on YouTube, and we can all subscribe, we can all like and comment and help each other out. Okay guys? Mwah. Until the next one, bye.